Our next guest says very little is known about what is actually driving Mr. Bolton. Here now is Davis Richardson, a policy reporter for The Observer. Davis, thank you for joining us. So the Trump administration, they usually say that publicly that the official goal of its actions against Iran is, to get them renegotiate a nuclear deal, or a deal that would also address other aspects of threats from Iran, not only the nuclear issue, but the unofficial goal behind the scenes might be a regime change. And you're saying that that is by part what's driving Bolton?
Absolutely. Publicly, the White House has played a rhetorical game a little bit on saying that we're not for regime change, but if you look at the actions of people in the White House, including Bolton and Rudy Giuliani, at speaking events all over the world, they've encouraged regime change at the hands of the MEK, the People's Mujahideen of Iran.
Tell us a bit about this group.
Sure. So the MEK is a very controversial group of Iranian dissidents who were responsible for helping overthrow the Shah, who the United States provided support and asylum to. And they were listed as a terrorist organization because they were involved in a number of bombings and attacks, which actually resulted in the deaths of Americans. And over the past few decades, there's been a lobbying movement to sort of whitewash their own image. And now they're at the point now where members of the Trump administration are now touting their rhetorical points.
Today, we learned that Iran's supreme leader has publicly chastised the Iranian president and the foreign minister. And now, on top of that, learning that the President Trump, is talking about sending up to 10,000 troops towards the region. When you factor all of that in and you look at the comments from Iran's supreme leader, is he starting to truly feel the pressure here from this maximum pressure campaign?
Absolutely, and that is one of the MEK's main points. They have not explicitly said that they want military action in the region, although the White House certainly has been angling towards that, as we've seen with the recent report. But certainly the maximum pressure campaign is something that the NCRI, the National Council of Iranian Resistance, has been advocating both on its website and at many events that they've held in Washington.
Just a very quick follow-up, though. How major of an announcement was this? How big were these comments to have the Supreme Leader going against his own president and going against the foreign minister?
Very big, I'd say.
So we're seeing how all of this is resonating with, here in the U.S., the administration and the regime in Iran. But what about the people in Iran? How are they viewing all of this? Why aren't we seeing protests against the regime, for example?
Sure. So with the MEK specifically, I mean, there is controversy on to what extent do they have the support of the Iranian people. When they left Iran, they went to and they relocated to Iraq, where they actually were very instrumental in providing support against Iran during the Iraq-Iran war, and by their own estimates, killed approximately 50,000 Iranians. So them coming into power is not something that I think would be ideal to a lot of the Iranian population.
You had mentioned that MEK was deemed a terrorist organization until around 2012. So, I mean, to have the National Security Advisor and other well-known officials speaking with an organization that had this label, it doesn't exactly send the message, perhaps, that the United States wants to send, does it?
No, certainly. Again, there'd been a very big effort to get the group delisted. It was not just Republican lawmakers, it was also a lot of Democrats as well. But I think that Obama's during the State Department time, had been very instrumental in not necessarily wanting that, although having to do so out of necessity.
Davis Richardson, thank you.
Thank you.